One thing that's unique about the Lakers, and I want to talk about Russell Westbrook's plus minus. We look at his plus minus and we think that Russell Westbrook is just so inefficient and can't play well. But I mentioned this before in a previous video when him and LeBron play, and spacing on the floor. LeBron LeBron James and Russell Westbrook creating lanes, just driving lanes for each other. So you look at Russell Westbrook had the worst plus or minus. He had minus 10, but I believe he was very efficient on the floor. And a lot of times when Russell Westbrook has to play, he's playing with that second unit. So he has to do a little bit more than LeBron James. Playing with a certain second unit or guy. The guys that he typically plays with. You're always going. Most of the time, you are going to see someone else handling the ball when LeBron James is in there. So he doesn't have to do that. But usually when Russell Westbrook is in there, he's responsible for the scoring. There's an interesting stat that. I forgot. Let's see who put that. According to the Dunked on NBA podcast, Oh, I went back. Let me go back here. According to the Dunked on NBA podcast, Westbrook James lineups take a whopping 46% of their shots at the rim. Lineup stats via cleaning the glass. For comparison, the league average is 30 to 31, meaning James Westbrook combo is getting point blank shots 50 more percent than a typical team. So, what is that saying? Right, you're getting higher quality shots. You're getting easier shots to make because they're getting to the basket. And I talked about this in the previous video. They create lanes for each other. Their dribble drive is at the best in the league. On a team level, only Oklahoma and Charlotte take more shots in the restricted area. So you can see how efficient they are. Now check this out. And they convert 72% of those attempts, which is highly efficient, even before you consider that many of those attempts result in and ones. That's how the Westbrook James duo has a net 10.7 when they share the floor. Even both players are shooting under 30%, even when they're both shooting under 30% from the 3-point arc. So when you have Russ on the floor with LeBron James, you're getting a better team that creates more lanes, that for passing lanes for each other. And it's essentially with them being able to drive, they're spreading the floor. You don't have that clumpiness in the middle with AD, and I spoke about this. So AD coming back, it's going to be interesting. Sometimes AD does like the hug around the arc. He doesn't mind, taking that mid-range game, popping up. Now, it all depends on when they're playing small ball. If they're going to play small ball and they run a set for AD, or run a play for AD, then you got to think about that. But I don't think that is going to be typically their go-to when it was in the past. Hey, let's run a set for AD. Now a team has to figure out how to stop three different scores, right? And then now you have shooters on the perimeter. Patrick Beverley's been shooting well. Schroeder shooting fair. But there's Tony Brown shooting okay. There's ebbs and flows with shooting, and you can't completely trust the shooting. But getting those higher percentage shots is very important. There's another stat that they talked about Russell Westbrook, so 15. That's 15 points better than the actual league. So it's not a surprise the Lakers outscore opponents 8.7 points per possession when LeBron James and Russell Westbrook share the floor. The Lakers have a negative, for reference, Lakers have a net rating of negative 0.6 on the season. So that just shows you when those two are on the floor, they're highly effective, they're highly efficient. Even though they're 22 and 25, and like I said, it's still insulting that Russell Westbrook is coming off the bench. I don't see how it makes sense for Russell Westbrook to come off the bench. But I think Russ is making the best of what he's dealt with, and a 6-man award for him is whatever. If he's this efficient coming off the bench, then he should be on somebody's starting roster, especially when he's top 3, top 4 in minutes on the team. So the LeBron James and Russ duo is solid. So.